Ultimately, saying yes is the actual step of bravery. A lot of saying yes is about perseverance, I believe, but choosing to say yes, even when the going gets tough after the initial yes, is sometimes even a braver part of the job.
Hi, friends. Welcome to Stories from 100 Days to Brave, a podcast where we hear real stories of friends who took the brave first steps to become who they truly are. I'm your host, Annie F. Downs. You know, it's amazing what God can do through us when we say this one tiny word, yes. Because when we say yes, we're saying a lot more than it looks like on the surface. We're actually saying, God, I may not know exactly where we're headed, but I trust you. I trust that you know the plans you have for me and that you'll work everything together for my good. And I trust that you'll use me as an instrument for your peace. Who knew, right? Just such a small word says so many things. That's exactly what our brave storyteller, Elisa Johnson, shows us today. Elisa shows us that the key to being brave with our yeses is that we don't just say yes to God once. We keep saying it over and over again, even sometimes when we don't feel like it, because we know that when we're feeling the weakest, God can do some of his best work.
My name is Elisa, and I'm a 24-year-old single woman living in Germany, working at an international school called Black Forest Academy, also referred to as a BFA. I am the classic middle child in my family who is spread out all over the world. My job right now is to be a resident assistant in one of the dorms. We have students from all over the world, and their parents are advancing the gospel throughout the world. So that is why they're here, and I'm here to help rein in the chaos. Most of my days look like cooking and folding towels, analyzing romantic comedies, dance parties in the car, discovering the beautiful trails of the Black Forest, and meandering hard conversations about life and growing up. My particular apartment is located on a boys' floor, so my dorm is co-ed. We have 10 high school boys and 10 high school girls, and then staff and dorm parent kids. So total 29 people live in my dorm here. Most of my time is given to these kids and this life. When I'm off, my favorite thing to do is to explore Europe. Particularly, I like to find the most unique and charming coffee shops everywhere I go. This past year, I hit my 21st country when I visited one of my students in their home country over a break. I moved to Germany when I was 22. I had just graduated college in May, and I left in August. I had studied abroad in Bavaria, Germany, in a state over in college. And when I was about to graduate my senior year, all I knew was that I wanted to come back. We had some family friends that had worked here from my church. And so when I was looking at opportunities, it actually was my sister who was like, remember the school that our friends worked at? And so I remember it was November 29th of 2017. And I just went on their website, and I had no desire to be a teacher. So at first I was just looking to look. And then I saw the role as an RA, which is more of the hands-on in the dorms. And so I remember I sent an email and just to get some information. And by the following Wednesday, which was like December 3rd, I had gotten a reply and pretty much knew from that point on that this was what was going to happen after I graduated. Honestly, the move itself was not the scary part to me. It was exciting and new and an adventure. I come from a family of people who are ready for adventure. As I was reflecting on where this comes from, I thought of my grandparents. My grandpa, who lived in this tiny little town in Missouri, was able to go to the Naval Academy for college. And so he picked up himself and moved by himself all the way across the country back in the 50s to serve the country. And then my grandma did a similar thing. She graduated from college in Kansas in the 50s and moved all the way to California. And that's actually where they met on a blind date. And then within like 2 months of them getting married, they moved to Thailand. So I can really trace back through my family the people who showed me what courage and bravery looks like. And that definitely affected my parents and aunts and uncles and now me. So when I said I was moving to Germany, I don't think anyone was necessarily surprised. I do not think I was fully aware of how challenging this job would be. I didn't think I would be 24 parenting teenagers. Um, but I think it's such a unique position because I am not so far removed from their situation. A few months ago, for one of my newsletters, I asked all my students how they would describe my job in a word or two. And the main ones I got was like the cool aunt, because the role has a level of authority, and a part of it is like just disciplining and making sure that we can live together in a really confined area. But then a lot of it is just doing everyday life and talking about, what I did when I was their age. And I'm young enough that I know their music, and so we can jam while we do dishes to Shawn Mendes and whatnot. Oh my goodness, these kids are so loving. I would say a lot of it is just, it's an honor to be welcomed into their life. I just find it such a joy when they ask me to get coffee with them, or when they ask me to be a reference for something they're applying to, because that shows that those times that I probably didn't have it 100% in me to lean in and I chose to were worth it, because those built the foundation for that trust. So yeah, it's a really unique position because it combines the adultness of having authority, but also just relating with their age and their excitement for life. One thing I've learned here from saying yes is just how important the Lord's calling has to be, and how if you do say yes, even in the nitty-gritty of life, that He will bless that and bring it to fruit, whether we see that or not. A lot of saying yes is actually about perseverance. I think that as we continue to say yes, it shows, one, that our strength comes from the Lord ultimately, but that it's bigger than myself, that He can use me even when I don't feel like saying yes. I've been surprised by the ways that He has shown fruit, and even just my second year in the dorm has brought greater depth of friendship and relationship with these students, and even just a greater understanding of who God is. And I've just been blown away by the fruit that He's brought by me sticking it out in the hard moments. I would say be ready for the unmet expectations and the sacrifices that living boldly and bravely take. In my first year, my best friend got married. I luckily was able to be there, but I was only able to fly in for like 3 days. And so I missed a lot of the prep. And then I had another friend have a baby. So it's just, you miss a lot of like moments of people you love. Yet, because and I know the why behind why I'm here, and the Lord's peace that He brings by me being here, then it's okay. But it doesn't make those moments that you miss any easier to miss. When you have 20 high schoolers watching your every move, I think that helped me kind of refine, what do I really believe is my relationship with the Lord? Is it a list of to-dos? Is it just being in the Word every day? And in a lot of ways, no. I've learned how important it is just a diving into relationship and being honest and choosing to fight to hear the Lord even when He feels silent. But also, the Lord's just shown me how big He is. Even though I probably will never be able to go to every country that my kids have lived in, I've learned so much about these cultures, and I get to sit on a couch with someone who's lived 10 years of their life in a place that I would never be able to know, and hearing it firsthand and seeing how the Lord has worked in this student's life has just reminded me of how small I am and how big the Lord is. Here's my favorite quote from 100 Days to Brave. If the yeses feel scary, take comfort in knowing that if you are seeking God, if you are asking Him to lead you, He hears you and is doing just that. If you are living in obedience to Him and He brings opportunities into your life, you can trust that He will take care of you when you say yes. Say yes to the gym, say yes to the open door, say yes to the situations that stretch you and scare you and ask you to be a better you than you think you can be. Say yes to the moments that will only come once. Say yes to serving, say yes to Jesus in every way, every chance you get. The thing I think that resonated with me, particularly as I was reading the book, was the calling, and always going back to the calling. which this job can feel sometimes like, why the heck am I doing? Like, why am I washing towels for the 27th time this week? And so I had to go back to, I really liked Annie's part of the life statement. I actually started really dwelling on that and derived some of what I think the Lord is asking me to do just because of who I am long term from that. So just an encouragement, honestly, to keep going and to keep choosing to be brave. Bravery is like taking a step towards impact that lasts beyond the given moment. In my life, I often, not on purpose, characterized bravery as just doing something bold, but as I've learned as an adult just what it really truly looks like to be brave, it's more about the intentionality, especially to hopefully impact others. Like if I had just moved to Germany by myself at my age just to explore the world, that would have been a form of bravery. But to actually choose to hopefully take this move to impact others and leave a lasting effect and a ripple effect, that's, in my opinion, true bravery.
Wow, it's amazing what God can do when we keep saying yes to him, isn't it? I've seen this over and over in my life and the lives of my friends, but man, I'm still in awe of what he can do through us when we keep saying, here I am, God, send me. I know you can do great things through me, and I'm here for it. I love Elisa's story, and I can't wait to see where her yeses take her throughout her life. And listen, I know saying yes feels scary. Friend, I have been there. I am there. And I'll tell you what, I find it so much easier to say yes when I intentionally seek out mentors and resources who pour into me and remind me that God's got a purpose for me and that he can work through me to do anything he has. So to help you on your journey to brave, I've written a brand new handy guide called the 100 Days to Brave Guided Journal. I've pulled together my favorite thoughts on bravery and courage, and I ask you some questions that might help you see where you can say yes so that God can start working some brave things through you. So you can find the 100 Days to Brave Guided Journal anywhere you buy books. I hope you'll check it out and maybe get a copy for a friend. Hey, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about this episode and this particular story. You can tag me, Annie F. Downs. That's how you find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere you want to find me. That's how you can find me, Annie F. Downs. So use the hashtags stories from 100 Days to Brave and 100 Days to Brave. They're in the show notes, and use the actual number 100. And if you want, we'd love for you to share this story. All right, friends, thanks for being here. Remember the power of your yeses, and I'll see you next time.